let's start out with, as we're in the NFC West, let's go with Seattle. You know, KJ Wright just signed his new deal, going to, was it Oakland? Or not Oakland, going to Vegas. Signed with the Raiders, man. So, yeah.
Oh, that just happened?
Yeah, like last night. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
okay.
Man.
You could throw that as a positive on the Raiders then if you want.
You know, it's just a little added addition right there.
Seahawks, dude. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs because Russell Wilson, I don't really care what they have around him. He's stable. I'm serious. Like, the defense is a little sketchy and stuff. But you got Russell Wilson. He's the positive. Pete Carroll, he's been around there for so long. He's, top 5 or 6 coach in the league. DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett.
You're very confident about them winning it. You realize the teams
I don't care. They just got
right?
Russell Wilson. That's how I feel about Russell Wilson.
Who won it last year?
They won the division.
Mm-hmm.
Rams beat them in the playoffs.
So that's kind of like how we are with Cleveland. It's exactly how we are with Cleveland right now. We won the division. They beat us in the playoffs.
That's not how I feel, though, about our scenario to their scenario. Because I actually do. I feel better about the Rams than I do the Seahawks, but the Seahawks are still making the playoffs.
Okay.
Our side, though, that was a fluke last year.
You call it what you want. It did happen. The situations are kind of same. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think we beat ourselves. I think the Rams beat the Seahawks. Like, they made Russell Wilson look bad. Like, hey, here's 28 points. That's how I felt about it.
You could give me the snap. I'll take that. But the rest, that you can't do that now for the rest of it.
I do feel that way because Ben, whenever he threw that pick to Snow.
You just said that they made the quarterback look bad.
No, that was Ben. He was like, here, Browns. He overthrew, like he tried to make a play. And
so maybe they made Ben look bad.
No, that wasn't them.
Oh.
That was Ben. Like Snell was right there. It was a bad pass by Ben. It was bad. And then I think Deontay, the one hit off his hands. Our defense was just like, here's an open turnstile, go in the end zone. Like we gave it to him. That's how I felt. Whereas I actually thought the Rams made like Russ look bad. It's not replicable what the Browns did to us in the AFC wild card. That's how I feel.
Fair enough.
Seahawks are making the playoffs though. They're making the playoffs just because of Russell Wilson. Okay. I don't really care what else they got.
So making the playoffs, yes. I thought you were saying like you guarantee they're gonna win the division though. That's what I was
no.
Like,
they're gonna be in the
that's tough. Yeah.
I feel better about the Rams. I really do.
Okay.
But no, it's because Russell Wilson, he's going to make them relevant. That's my main thing. Question mark. I mean, they have some question marks on defense they've had over these past couple of years. Like that's why Russell's been having to make plays, and you think it's garbage time when he's going off for like 300-400 yards, but he'll actually get them back in the game and pull off some of these victories out of his ass. So that's where I'm at with the Seahawks.
For me, when I think of the Seahawks, obviously, you got to love Russ, right? Love Russ, love DK. I'm a big DK Metcalf fan. I think that what he brings to the table in terms of his downfield receiving ability is, you're going to be hard pressed to find another guy like him. I just hate the fact that at times he is inconsistent with his hands. We do see him struggle with some of those like weird drops. But the O-line, once again, that's always going to be the big question mark for Seattle. I know Russ is going to be able to make plays. We know Russ is going to be able to scramble around and extend and hit Tyler Lockett downfield on something crazy. He's going to throw one of those rainbow balls that everybody talks about, and they're going, let him cook. But I do think that in the end, the O-line will be the Achilles heel. Like, that's the part that they struggled with in the past. I think they continue to struggle with that. I also don't like, in terms of how they're going to be able to generate pressure defensively, Benson Mayowa, right? Now, me and him were together in AZ. I like his game, but if he is your main rusher, that's going to limit you a little bit there. Like, he's a good player, but he's not main rusher, 10 plus sack guy. Book him like you're good to go. That's not who he is. And based on how their defense is, now I know Dunlap is on the roster, but they don't use him like that. Like I don't know why. I don't know. But that's just how they rock with it right now, man. And for me, like I said, I just don't think they're going to be able to generate the pressure that they need to. And ultimately, that's going to make them struggle on the back end as well. Because remember now, Griffin is gone. Okay, we know Jamal Adams, he's more of your blitzing type. He's not really going to be covering to that extent. I just don't think that they're going to have enough across the board like that. Like, I do not like their roster at all. I just like certain players on it, like Russ, Metcalf, couple other guys, but as a whole, I don't like their roster, bro.
Yeah.
So that'd be my knock on them. Yep.
They'll be in the mix. So what team next?
All right. Next we'll go to AZ, man. To the old stumping grounds. You know?
I feel
they got James Conner. That's all they need. Come on, bro.
him versus Chase Edmonds.
It ain't no competition. I mean, it's James Conner, bro.
That's kind of their only negative on offense, honestly. Tight end, maybe. I don't know. Max Williams.
You confident in O-line now?
Max Williams ain't bad. What?
Are you confident in O-line now? Beach out there at left tackle. DJ Humphrey at right. Justin Pugh's the left guard. Who's the center out there right now? I'm drawing a blank.
Hudson. Yeah, they picked him up.
Yeah. Rodney Hudson. Yeah. He's coming off an injury, though, right?
I'm not sure.
I thought he came off an injury, but I like Rodney's game when he's healthy, though. Rodney's
he's good. Yeah, he was a staple for the Raiders for a while. So, my thoughts with AZ. Very similar to what's going on with the Chargers. Are they going to take the next step? Because
that's actually low-key good, though.
All the pieces are there. They've made some nice moves in the offseason. Kyler Murray's an ascending star. I'm sorry.
He's extending it. He's extending that star.
He's extending it. He's extending it across the goal line. Are they ready to make the next step? Because whenever I look at them versus the Seahawks, I think, all the pieces are in place.
Yeah.
They probably should beat out the Seahawks for a playoff spot. Maybe even all three of them make it, like Seahawks, Rams, and the Cardinals. I need to see it, though. As much as we could bash the Seahawks for the roster, I know what Russell Wilson is. I don't know if Kyler Murray's going to do that. If you're like my one cousin, though, he's saying Kyler Murray is better than Mahomes. He thinks his team's probably a lock for like 12 or 13 wins. Yeah. I just need to see it. They faltered last year. They had a really good chance. They got all the pieces on defense, too. They got J.J. Watt. They just brought him in. Isaiah Simmons. They drafted Zaven Collins. Buda Baker. Like, they're kind of loaded on both sides. Yeah. Whenever you look at just their roster as a whole, outside of a few positions, like I mentioned, running back, there's a couple positions on defense. But really, they got all the pieces there to make a nice playoff run.
I like that.
I need to see it, though. I need to see it.
I like it. Well, listen. The positive I'm going to share, and Trina's still diva right here. She says they got JC, baby. Alexa, play I Love Me Some Him. No, Trina diva. Trina's still diva. Alexa, play He's All the Man I Ever Need right there. Give me some James Conner, ladies and gentlemen. James Conner with Chase Edmonds solidifies that running back room, man. James give you the pounding, the thunder, and then Chase gives you the lightning. We love the wide receiver group just because of DeAndre Hopkins. He could literally be the only wide receiver on the roster, and I would still love it because of him, right? Similar to what we saw in the Texans when he was down there. But Christian Kirk, I do think, is good enough to ultimately provide enough attention so that way everybody's not going crazy with Hop. But yeah, I just think, man, for them, adding the running back with what they already have in place, that's a huge boost for them. King and Drake played well when he got out there, but now he's gone. Chase Edmonds, I think, is still going to be a good player, but his game is different because he's very small. He's a small running back. So when you bring in James, you bring in that thumping element, and when you mix it into an offense like how Kyler Murray and what they're running, that's very similar to Baltimore, right? In the sense of, man, you got to account for the quarterback. So now James is going to be able to run behind some very advantageous defensive fronts, whereas last year we know he was facing some very, very stout boxes. It's going to be spaced out now. He's going to have a little bit more room, a little bit more deception. And I think in that role where he's not having to be the bell cow, that makes them that much more dangerous offensively. Now, my knock on them is they still are young on defense. Isaiah Simmons, I like him, but he struggled last year. Got to see the second year leap. But I do like pairing him with Zaven Collins. They're both different, right? Zaven's your thumper, your downhill box linebacker. Isaiah should be the guy that can go out there and cover and do, more of that Shazier type of role. If he can get that going, great. I just don't know if he can just yet, because last year it looked like he was overwhelmed at times. And then you obviously got to talk about J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones in the sense of, is J.J. healthy? And for Chandler Jones, is he healthy? And is he still motivated to play in Arizona? Because remember, he wanted to get traded this year. He was asking to be traded. It didn't happen, but that did come up. He's literally the last guy that's there from his group, right? No more Patrick Peterson. Larry Fitzgerald said he's waiting to sign wherever with the contender. He's done. Yeah, he's in no hurry to sign anywhere. So when you're thinking about that, it's like it's not a lot of familiarity out here for him. We got to see what that looks like for him early on in the season. So those are my concerns with them. But yeah, as a whole, though, then they're gonna be in contention though. They're gonna be interesting.
I think they'll be in the mix. I do.
All right.
we'll see if they rise to the occasion or fall flat, though.
We shall see, man. All right, we're going to get these last two in, and then after that, man, vámonos. So, L.A. Rams.
I like them a lot. I really do. I think this Stafford pickup's going to be good for them. Is Stafford going to be as good as a lot of people think? He doesn't have to be. He just needs to be better than Goff. He needs to probably just be what he's been with the Lions. A lot of people think he will, like, even get elevated higher with McVay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Just be Stafford, really. And probably you're going to see a little increase in production, but I don't think it's going to be one of those things where, like, oh, man, Stafford's a top 3 quarterback. I'll probably be in, like, that top 12, top 10 mix, but that's going to be enough for the Rams, in my opinion, because they look pretty good on offense. They got those same receivers out there. Robert Woods, what's his face? Cooper Kupp.
Was it Tyler Higbee?
Higbee's good.
End? Yeah.
I think they're going to be fine with the running back. We were talking about that earlier. I don't think it's going to be that much of a downgrade for Akers, even though I do think Akers is a better running back. It's more of like McVay's system and what he can do. And then defense is really solid too. I mean, you saw what they did last year against the Seahawks.
Right, dude.
What killed them was a quarterback situation when it really came down to it. He's got something. He's got some type of vision out there for what he wants this team to be. And I think it's gonna be good this year. I really do think they're gonna be one of the contenders. They're gonna win the division, in my opinion.
For me, man, they don't have a lot of negatives on their roster. No. Honestly, I mean, them getting Matt Stafford was a massive upgrade to me at quarterback. And Sony Michel, like I said, I don't hate that. Like, I think that he definitely helps them out a ton. I was so much more higher on Cam Akers, and that, like, you go from, think about what Najee Harris, how we feel about him here right now. We're extra excited. So if he were to not be here, even if we were to make a move for another guy, we'd be like, all right, I like him, but he's not the guy that we wanted. So that, to me, still just kind of lingers as like a negative. But if I had to give another, like, more significant negative, not necessarily all the wide receivers, but Desean Jackson, right? Because they are anticipating him being that third guy. They think that he can bring another element of terms of taking the top off the defense. Problem is, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So for me, when I think of them putting eggs in that basket, it makes me a little concerned. It absolutely could, man. I'm trying to think when the last time he had a quarterback like that, like Deshaun. Like, I know when Vic came back, and that was just bonkers that time. And granted, that was when Deshaun was like really healthy. But when I think of Deshaun, I'm like, if he can get to that, but he just hasn't been able to. He's been hurt every single year, it seems like now. So to me, I would go with that as like my most significant negative, just because I don't know if he's going to be available to them like that. And if you lose that element of having a legitimate guy that can take the top off, it just makes it a little bit more difficult for those guys. Because defensively, I like them, man. They got Aaron Donald. Yeah. It's hard not to like a defense with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey out there.
Williams is pretty good, too.
Dude, Leonard Floyd went for 10 sacks last year. Like, they got pieces on all levels defensively. That's why I'm like, you're picking, what do you call it? Picking straws, or,
I think they're going to be
splitting hairs. Excuse me. That's what splitting hairs. We're trying to find like a negative.
I think they're going to be a good team, though. It feels like the way we're talking about them, they're the cream of the crop in the NFC West.
Absolutely, man.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. All right, and then the final team in the NFC West. Them 49ers.
I don't like this situation, dude.
You don't? They are loaded roster wise, though, bro. They their
Jimmy
team is insane, but they got Trey Lance as well.
Even if they brought in Lance early, I feel like he's going to go through some growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
I saw too much of that inaccuracy. Like, it could be, we can comp him to Allen. Like, if he came in this year, you're going to see some things.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see some inaccuracy. I don't know if that translates to winning this season. Maybe they go 7-10, 6-11 if Lance was in. But I don't think he's going to be playing. It looks like they're going to go with Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like this situation, dude. With Garoppolo, with Lance back there, I think there's going to be a lot of drama going on. They're loaded, though. They're loaded. I don't like the lack of
loaded.
I don't like the lack of explosiveness on offense, though, with those receivers. I think they're missing one guy. Like, if they would have got Julio Jones, that would have been nice.
Somebody could take the top off.
They're going to be really relying on Kittle again. If he goes down, it's going to be problems.
But no, who else they have out there, receiver? Debo.
They just have like two small guys.
Yeah.
Debo and Brandon Ayuk.
Now, Brandon Ayuki played what? Muhammad Sanu's out there, though. He's the other guy. Yeah. Yo, boy.
No, not Sanu.
Yo, boy, man. You a Sanu guy, man. You were high on that when he went to New England, man.
No, that move means nothing.
They got Muhammad Sanu.
Yeah, defense is loaded. What they have in their favor over some of those other teams.
I forgot Kyle Juszczyk as well. He's another guy out there for that. They are
nice.
Loaded.
Jimmy G, though, that's the problem. The thing that they have in their favor over some of those other teams I mentioned, like the Raiders and Broncos, with limited quarterbacks, in my opinion, is they have Kyle Shanahan, and I think they have a much better defense than those teams.
Yeah.
This division is going to be pretty good.
I'm excited for this division, dude. I'm very
excited. I can't say the Niners are going to be like 6-11. I could see that if it was Trey Lance, maybe.
Okay.
But with Jimmy G, I see them around 500.
Wow.
I just think Jimmy G's that limited.
Yeah, for me,
he's
man,
gonna screw him.
We differ. I'm extremely high on this team, man. Their weakest link to me on offense, you could say, is the quarterback. But at the same time, Jimmy, to me, is one of the most valuable pieces for them because he's never going to put them in a position where they're going to lose. He's never going to throw them out of a game. And you want to call him a game manager, whatever. But like, he's going to make sure they're always ready to go. You got the running game in terms of your running back, right? You obviously got Raheem Mostert. They brought in Trey Sermon, who I like. And then Wayne Gallman. I don't know if you remember him, but he lit it up a little bit with the Giants last year. But it was my fantasy guy. He was my fantasy running back. That's how I knew him. Only reason why I knew him, I had to pick him up in a bind. He cooked. He started to cook. All right. So just think about him, right? But O-line wise, man, you got Trent Williams. You got Alex Mack. They are complete. You named off the skill players, dude. Like, they can attack you in so many ways now. They don't have the vertical threat, but remember with their offense, what are they doing? They're West Coast. They're not trying to stretch you down the field vertically. They're going to run that ball. They're going to play action pass you to death. And that's how they're going to move that ball downfield. And then eventually they're going to sneak Kittle off the back. And that's how they'll get a deep play. They're going to sneak, Juszczyk down the sideline. That's how they'll generate their shots. But their offense is set up perfect. And they got the perfect quarterback for running that, along with the sprinkle of Trey Lance. Them being able to bring Trey Lance in and out. It's Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. And you saw that thing went to the Super Bowl. They should have won a Super Bowl. Like, it was working when they were running that thing, man. So that's what I think of.
Well, they'd have to drop Jimmy G altogether and throw Lance in.
Well, the year when they went to the Super Bowl, sure. But the year before that, when they were still winning a ton out there, Alex Smith was their main quarterback and Colin would come in every game with that package, very similar to what we see with Taysom Hill, just he was actually able to throw the ball and do a lot more.
So, yeah, they are talking about doing that.
That's what they're going to do with them. And as a defense, it kills you because you're going to go from, 100% of the time never having to account for the quarterback because it's Jimmy G to about 15% of the time now. When Trey Lance comes in here, that changes everything. And you can't treat it like Wildcat. Usually if it's like a Wildcat, you're not worried about the throwing element. You're like, bro, we're just going to bring this other guy down here and you play man-to-man with the quarterback. That's how you account for it. You can do that when you don't have to worry about the pass. Trey can throw that rock. So you're in a bind with him. And I think with them using him in a limited role early, right? Just a specialized package, you're going to minimize the negativity that you would typically see from a quarterback playing as a rookie. And I think that's why for them, man, they're going to be a tough team, man. They're going to be tough. But yeah, they don't have a lot of negatives, man. They do not.
Yeah, I just mentioned Jimmy G.
I would go corner. You can make a case for cornerback. Like, as I'm looking at these guys, obviously no Sherman out there. Now, in terms of the two dudes, I'm looking at the one guy right now was this Emmanuel Mosley. I think that's how you say his last name. And then obviously Jason Verrett. But as a whole, like, that gives me a little bit of pause. But it doesn't when I know their pass rush. Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead. They get at the quarterbacks, man. Javon Kinlaw, they're going to be fine up there. They got D Ford. D Ford is a rotational guy. Like, D Ford has started places as like the bookend bell cow type of guy. So for me, man, I think that they're going to be tough, bro. They're going to be tough, man.
I like everything they got going except for Jimmy G.
Yeah.
That's really it. I've had enough of them.
Yeah.
I really have. Unfortunately, I have them finishing last.
All right. I'm about to say, give your order. I got a poll going up as well. And this is probably the closest we've ever had a poll right now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I mean, it's still defined, but it's very close in terms of the numbers. Like we haven't seen one like this.
Yeah,
in a
this
minute,
is gonna
bro.
be a good division. I have Niners last, but I don't even know what that record is. What's last? Is it gonna be like 7-10? Is it gonna be 8-9? Because I have it close with all these teams, really. So I go Niners last, Cardinals third, Seahawks second, Russell Wilson, and first Rams.
Okay. All right, so I will end the poll, but it's looking like they go Cardinals finishing last, or in terms of I said who will win the NFC or the NFC West.
Yeah, Cardinals.
Yeah,
last.
It looks like Cardinals last. Then they got Niners at third, Seahawks at second, Rams at first, winning it with about 40%. But this is close, 40% to win the poll. Usually, every time we got a poll, it's like
40 to 26.
Yeah, that's tight right there, man. That is tight, and it's been up here for about 18, 19 minutes. So yeah, that was good right there. But for me, man, mine is a little bit different. I got the Seahawks finishing fourth in the division, man. I think, I do. I believe in Russ, but I just think the division as a whole, the teams are too complete, and I don't think the Seahawks did enough to get better, which is why Russ was pissed off this offseason with them. So I got them at fourth. I got the Cardinals in third, though, man. I think they're going to be exciting, but at the same time, I do think that the new pressure of, all right, y'all surprised some people last year. Now we're expecting y'all to do this. I do think that will get to them. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm still hating on the fact they won that game against Buffalo on that Hail Mary that week, though. Boy, I can't stay in that joint, man. Shoot, my man Hopkins won an Emmy off of that thing, too, bro. Like, come on, y'all gotta stop this nonsense, man. I can't stand that. But that's why I have them at 3. Then at 2, I got the LA Rams.
Whoa.
I do. I like them.
We got it completely flipped.
We do, actually. I like them a ton, man, but I'm still just a little skeptical, man. Not of the team as a whole, just RB situation. And obviously, when I talked about that third, that the guy who can legit take the top off, his availability. Desean typically hasn't been as available, and I think that could hurt them. The Niners are the team that I think wins the division because they are super complete. Their biggest weakness is Jimmy G. But Jimmy G is a guy with a high floor, just a low ceiling. He's never going to come out there and have a 5-pick game. He's never going to come out there and you're just playing so bad that he gets you out of a game. But he's never going to be a guy that throws for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns either. He's always going to be right on schedule, though. He's not going to miss any throws. He's not going to make a bonehead decision. He's not going to compound on a mistake. And when you bring in the Trey Lance element, that is just another thing that defenses are going to struggle to deal with. And you know Shanahan knows how to do that. They got that thing under control out there, man. So that's why for me, I got them winning it, man.
Cool.
Yes, it's going to be fun, baby. It is going to be fun. This is a fun show, bro.
Yeah, it was. We got anything else we got to clean up before we tune out?
We had one super chat right here. Antoine 1398 says Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in that division. I think who do you think is the best quarterback?
No, it's Russ, man.
Shoot, I'm tripping. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely tripping. I totally forgot about Russ in that part right there. Yeah. What?
Second
but
best.
Wait a minute, though. But
we'll see how he plays with the Rams.
You think Russ is a better passer than Stafford, like pure passer? Because I think Russ is a better quarterback, but in terms of just passing the ball.
I mean, probably between Stafford and Murray for best arm. Stafford probably is the best arm.
See, because I think Stafford has the best arm, but I'm interested to see Stafford now with a more legitimate team. Because him in Detroit, I don't feel like we really got a chance to see how good or bad he is. Like, it's Detroit. Like, it's dumb.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like if Russ was in Detroit, he would have been able to make stuff happen. I just feel that way about Russ. I do.
Oh man,
I feel like he's that legit.
I don't think Russ's Seattle teams have ever been remotely close to how bad Detroit's teams have been. Like, just personnel wise, not even like wins and losses.
Those offenses have been kind of stacked at points with Calvin Johnson and like even like having Golden Tate, Marvin Jones. Like, he's had good players.
But man,
he's been hurt though a lot. There hasn't been a lot of continuity. Yeah. And that's the thing with Russ. He's never hurt. Like, I think he would have changed the game kind of for the Lions a little bit. They would have been way more relevant. Not saying they're winning the division left and right because obviously Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are there, but I think he would have done more than Stafford. That's why I still think Russ is better.
See, I like Russ's game as a whole. I think Russ's game is better. But if we're just talking pure passer, I do lean Stafford. And I just wonder, now that Stafford is paired with McVay in an offense where it's definitely more legitimate, and he has a defense that's going to provide him opportunities as well. Remember in Detroit, you might have given him some offensive weapons, cool. Defensively, they ain't have nothing like that where you knew you was getting the ball back, you knew you was getting stops, extra turnovers and stuff like that wasn't happening out there. LA, he's going to get that. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, they create that. They're going to bring you more opportunities. So I want to see with Stafford, though, in a situation where he's able to just throw that rock and you're paired with a guy that knows how to scheme it up, how prolific he can truly be. Because I think we haven't really seen just how good he could be at. Like him when he was with Calvin Johnson, you knew he was going to force it to Calvin. So it still kind of limit what he was capable of doing when you know you got to go here. Kind of what we said with Ben with AB. It's like certain times you're like, bro, Ben, you don't have to go there. You can spread out, be a little bit more open to everyone, which he is now, right? Whereas when you have a guy like Calvin or like AB, it's like, yo, that guy gets the rock. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he gets the rock. So for me, that's the one thing with Stafford. I'm just like, let me see. Because I think he can surprise some people, man.
I think it's fair to say, let me see. I don't know, Russ's body of work. I don't think that should be overlooked.
Yeah, I like it.
I just think he's that good.
No, he is, man.
I think between even Stafford and Murray, like Murray could ascend this year too. Even there's a legitimate shot there. They got 3 really good quarterbacks in the NFC West.
They do. I guess that's gonna be a fun division, man. That is gonna be a fun division.